Welcome to the Client Magnet Podcast. This is Manny Fraser, your host with the most, and we're here to talk to you about becoming a client magnet. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Rise and Thrive Podcast, the podcast that makes you a client magnet. I'm your host, Manny Fraser, and today we're going to be diving into a topic that's not just about numbers and quotas. It's about transforming lives while mastering the art of sales. Whether you're a personal trainer or a dedicated fitness sales consultant or anyone looking to sharpen your sales skills, this episode is your guide to elevating your game and creating lasting impact. Let's talk about the psychology behind fitness sales. Okay. So one of the reasons I started this podcast is because I noticed in the fitness industry that we understood a lot of things, but sales is not one of it. Sales in the fitness industry isn't just about selling gym memberships or personal training packages. It's about understanding the dreams and aspirations and insecurities of the people walking through the door. We are selling an intangible thing, and we're trying to make it tangible. A lot of times when we're looking at this, it's hard for us to really sit down and talk to people. When we have to sit down and talk to people, have these conversations that lead to people getting to their goals. So having some actualizations that their goal might happen. It's about them. It's about guiding them towards healthier and happier versions of themselves. And this is kind of hard because a lot of times we don't tap into the psychology side, right? So a lot of times there is something called behavior change, the behavior change model. So let's talk about the behavior change model so you guys can understand this. This is psychology. So there's behavior change model to sustain lifestyle and results. So the behavior change model goes like this. There's first pre-contemplation. And then there's contemplation, there's preparation, there's action, and then there's maintenance. So let's go first with pre-contemplation. So pre-contemplation is when someone is sitting down and they're not thinking about their goals. Let's call them person X. X person is like, you know what, my goals don't matter to me. They're not thinking about it. They're going through life. Then they have contemplation. Contemplation's where they start thinking about like things they got to do, right? Contemplation can be triggered by a photo, a doctor's visit, a husband, a wife, someone saying that, hey, you're not looking, you're looking kind of bigger. It can be triggered by clothing not fitting properly. It can be triggered by not sleeping properly, a near-death experience. It can be triggered by anything. That's pretty much it. So once the contemplation kicks in, then they start thinking about like, oh, no, I need to do something about this goal. Then there's preparation. Preparation is now like, okay, I got to do something about this. I'm going to go get a gym membership. I'm going to go get a personal trainer. I'm going to go get a whatever it is. And that preparation is now looking up the prices of these things. How much does trainers cost? Start Googling stuff. This is when the Google comes out. The Google comes out. And then there's action. Action's now like, okay, I'm going to go get the trainer. I'm going to go get the gym membership. I'm going to go in. Right? And then what happens is relapse. So this is the emotional journey that leads people to this place. They're already on this emotional journey. Now you need to recognize that they're on this emotional journey. Now, what part do we normally meet people in? We normally meet people in the action phase. But the issue is that you're meeting people all the time in different parts of these phases. So here's how you become a client magnet. You need to quickly recognize what phase this person in. Are they in the action phase? Are they in the pre-contemplation phase? Because you can be in the gym and be in the pre-contemplation phase. How can you be that, Manny? Well, here's how it is. Let's say, for instance, you just stumble in the gym. You haven't been in the gym for months. And you're like, you know what? I have a bit of time today. I'm going to come into the gym. You have these goals that are lofty. And you're trying to make it happen. But you know what? You're not making it happen. James Clear talks about this in Atomic Habits, which is setting up systems in place to help you get the results. Well, the system that this person has in place is not really good. So therefore, they're not having trouble getting the results. So here's what we do as trainers. We help people with these systems. We have to tap into psychology. We tap into the fact that this goal that this person has is bigger than whatever they're saying, bigger than themselves. So this is why, like, I always talk about, like, if we're doing goal setting, I try to find goals that are bigger than I want to lose weight. Weight loss is probably the hardest goal to not attain, but the hardest goal to be motivated by. Because at a certain point, you're no longer motivated. So in order to really understand your clients or your member, your potential member, you need to understand what motivates them so you can drive them to that motivation. By finding out what motivates them, you can find out how to drive yourself to a successful sale. So by tapping into psychology of sales, you'll gain the tools to connect deeply with your clients and on a personal level. So you need to tap into more psychological stuff. It's not really easy. I suggest that you deep dive into that. Next, let's talk about building an authentic relationship and client relationships. So building strong client relationships isn't just about an extra. It's a heart. It's not about just that. Building strong client relationship isn't just an extra. It's the heart of successful fitness sales. To elevate sales skills, focus on fostering connection that extends beyond the transaction. And we talked about this, is being authentic with people. People need to feel. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. It's not about someone comes in. I'll give you an example. Someone came in, they said they need to lose this weight, right? After hearing a brief elevator pitch about their story, I told them that I'm excited. I'm excited to help them get to their goals. Now, I'm being authentic. I am excited. I'm genuinely excited about people getting to their goals. Now, here's the next thing. They said they've been to several different gyms, and no one told them that. And just by me being authentic, that's just me. I'm excited. I'm there to help them get on their journey. You as a personal trainer, you as a fitness enthusiast, you as a fitness sales consultant, a fitness advisor, fitness trainer, fitness whatever, you as that person, you need to understand something. Someone comes into the gym, you are there as the person that's going to help them. You're there to partner with them, you're there to mentor them, and you're there to be a beacon of support on their fitness journey. You need to share personal stories of how strong relationships have led to lasting success in the gym. So share other stories of people actually being in the same situations. The authenticity of communication is huge because now when we're talking to people and building these actual real life relationships with people, you're making friends and influencing people by your friendship. This is what you have to do in terms of making people, you're creating a community. Right? And there's a lot of times people don't understand that. It's not just about dollars and cents. And this is where people get lost. People get so lost in this thing. So many trainers get lost in this. And they start thinking that it's about dollars and cents. And all these companies think about is money. Money is one thing. But it's not about dollars and cents. The authenticity of you creating that relationship with somebody is what really matters in a fitness sense. So the relationship that you're creating with someone isn't about you going bowling with them or you going to burgers with them. It's about you helping them get their fitness goals because that's what they're here for. Whatever their fitness goals is, that's what you need to help. So another thing in terms of mastering your success, your journey to sales success, would be mastering the objection handling. This is one area where trainers need to work. Objections are opportunities in disguise. When a client raises concerns, it's a chance for you to demonstrate your expertise and commitment. A lot of times, trainers don't handle objections well. They just think that when someone's trying to object towards them, like, oh, this person doesn't care. This person doesn't want to train with me. This person doesn't want to do it. Like, man, get over yourself. Instead of shying away from objections, embrace them as a stepping stone towards a successful deal. Conversate with them. Objections are just asking questions. All you need to do is just talk to this person. So realistically, the way I look at objections is like this. There's four different types of objections that you'll face in the fitness world, okay? Number one, price. The price is too expensive. Number two, time. I don't know if I can commit to that length of time. Number three, it is fear of failure. And number four, they generally aren't motivated. They don't really want to do it. Reality is like you face the first three as many times as possible. The answers to the objections are really simple. Price, figure out different price points that work out for them to get the results. Time, change the time and the length of time that you're training with them. Fear of failure, Let them know that the feel felt found in terms of the people that have trained with you, that have the same goals, that help them get there, that they won't fail as long as they're with you. And that's realistically how you master objections. I have another, you can check out the next podcast that I have of just overcoming objections. That's a really good podcast talking about overcoming objections. But once you understand that there's different types of objections you'll face, practice the objections that you commonly face. You're going to realize I only face these common objections all the time. So now the question is, are you preparing? Are you practicing? Because if you're not practicing, then what are you doing? So the art of closing deals with confidence. Closing a deal shouldn't be about manipulation. It's about guiding your client to a decision that aligns with their goals and desires. It's not about manipulating the person into something. It's about guiding them to the right choices that they need to make. So what I mean by that is this. When someone you're guiding them to the decision that aligns with their goals. So they say, I want to lose 50 pounds. So the decision that they need to make reality is like, how long is it going to take you to lose 50 pounds? It might take you a year. Okay, cool. So here's the conversation it looks like for me. All right, so Jim, it's going to take you a year to lose that 50 pounds. Okay. So now it's going to take you a year. Here are all the options. The first option that's really going to help you lose this is that our PAP, that is a pre-authorized payment for $396, which is 156 hours of training. It's going to cost you $396 bi-weekly. Let's get you started on it. Jim's going to either give me some sort of objection, or he's going to say yes. But the reality is that this thing that I just showed him, the 3 times a week for a year, is what's going to help him get those results. So realistically, I have to be confident, and I got to ask with genuine care and then realistically ask the right questions throughout the sales process. So when we're looking at if someone has any sort of objections, I got to now add stories that are going to help people get to the result. So like, let's say for instance, someone says, I'm objecting towards this $396. I got to add, if this is my only option, or this is the option, I got to add a story of someone else that also faced the exact same problem and said, you know what, this is something I want to do. So the way you do that, it would be like, hey, Jim, you know what, John felt the same way when he was getting started with his training package. And here's what's happened. John got started with the training package and has since been able to increase his vertical, has lost 20 pounds, has been able to get stronger, has been able to get bigger, has been able to get faster, right? Whatever the goals are. When you now can add that goal, that story orient towards in terms of your closing, and you're now practicing that in terms of, and saying that with confidence, it leads the person, the client, the member to be confident within you. Okay, as I wrap this episode, remember that your role goes beyond being a salesperson. You're the source of inspiration, motivation, and transformation. By understanding the psychology of sales, by building deep relationships, addressing objections with empathy, and mastering the art of closing a deal, you're not just selling, you're shaping lives. So whether you're stepping into the gym, onto the gym floor, or engaging in a sales call, approach it with the mindset of a guide on someone's transformative journey. Thank you for joining me. This is the Rise and Thrive podcast, and keep honing those skills, keep making a difference, and keep reaching for new heights in your fitness sales journeys. Peace. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time, keep pushing boundaries, inspiring change, and making a lasting impact through the personal training. Stay motivated, stay committed, and remember, the journey to excellence is just beginning. This has been Manny Fraser signing off. Keep shining, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Happy coaching!